Okay, so we had a great question in from Steve. What was the question?
I can't tell you word for word because we use my phone for a sat nav. However, I think it was something along the lines of what happens to the business ideas, or how do you decide what business ideas to do away with? Assuming I think that we have new ideas all the time. How do we decide which ones to progress and which ones not to do? I think was the question.
Cool. Who's going first?
You.
Excellent, thanks.
No problem.
So there's a number of factors that go into this. First of all, for me personally, when I have a business idea or an idea is presented to me, I think about how easy is it for me to get to this product or service to the market with my current contacts or contacts that I think I'll be able to get. So that's one of the things that's important to me, is how easy will it be for me. And one of the other things for me is how much stress is this business going to cause me, because there's some great business ideas out there, there's some great business concepts, but some of them are very stressful. And I'm at a stage in my life now where I'm trying to limit the amount of stress. Yes, all businesses are stressful to a degree. If you're managing people and managing the flow of money, then there will be an element of stress, even if you love doing what you do. But if the business idea or concept creates stress for me, then I'm not interested. And some businesses are like just stress management, really. You get paid because of the
amount of stress you're having to deal with.
And crap you got to deal with. And I'm trying to avoid those types of things. I've been through the mill. I've had some fun experiences. I've tried some really daring things. I've made some money doing, some challenging things, and I just don't want to enter that space anymore. Having said that, if the stars aligned and it was a really, really, I can put it together, but there was a potential risk of stress, but I can make a huge amount of money.
I was going to say, things that are really stressful often
things that make a lot of money
derive a lot of money,
derive a lot of stress. But not always. So let me for me, some of the things that give me a lot of stress, things that are very people oriented.
Yes.
So if it requires lots of people to make the money for the business, whether it be salespeople, admin people, or whatever it is, on the ground, if it's a service that they're delivering, if it requires a lot of people to make that business successful, big no-no for me, personally. And sometimes it's quite interesting because we start a business on a piece of paper, concept, who's interested in this, and what is the startup cost. And some businesses are just so affordable to start up. With $5,000 you can start up a lot of different businesses. And then if you've got a good network, or if you're good at sales and marketing, you have a business overnight. So there's not many businesses that I've been involved in that require huge amounts of capital. I say that, but then there are some businesses I'm involved in that do require huge amounts of capital, which leads me on to the next point. How much capital is required to start this project? And that is one of the things that I do look at as well. For me, if it makes sense, then fine. Is it okay, let's just try something new? If the capital investment is high, and as entrepreneurs, so to digress for a moment, as entrepreneurs, it's like, I know we kind of see this very differently, but money in the bank is dead money for me. It does nothing. What is the point? What interest rates at the moment? 0.002 and all. There's no point in having money in the bank. So you might as well try something new anyway, because you're going to get a better potential return on investment than you would from having it sitting in the bank dying or depreciating. So anyway, so that's just kind of, so I would rather, if I get money in, I'm spending it because I want to try something new, or I want to invest it into marketing, or I want to add a service. So as soon as money comes in, it goes back out the door again, because we're always trying new things. So yeah, I don't know. Is that hopefully that
No, it
gives
doesn't.
you? So for me, money
Okay.
is a factor.
So a factor in deciding whether to do the business or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
How much capital investment is required?
Sure. Time and the
Not necessarily time. How much capital investment is required?
Stress.
The stress involved in creating this business, i.e., how many people does it require for me to make this really successful? And there was one in the beginning that I said, which I don't remember.
I think that was it.
No, there was one other one. So yeah, and you?
You answered them, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
But I think because your answer was quite long, so I think you're right. I think I think I like to kind of test the market, and so yes, it is a decision on how much money is going to be necessary, how much time and energy is going to have to go into it, and people. I think people is a big factor, like you said, but that's part of the stress element. So who are you going to need to make this possible? How easy is it to find those people? How much is it going to cost? All of those kind of bits and bobs. But also, I guess, is creating that business going to create or generate some change? Like, I feel like now I want
change?
Businesses that have
an impact,
not necessarily a social impact, and have a impact. So either they change, they're an innovation that helps solve a problem, or it has a social impact, or it has a people impact. So like it helps other people, it helps them to further their life, like something that is worth putting the time, energy, and stress into. I think that's another factor.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
but, although I don't know if I feel like maybe some of his question was, how do you decide which is a good idea and which is a bad idea? But I'm not confident that's the question because I can't remember it off the top of my head. But I feel like that was part of it. It was one, how do you decide between good and bad? Yeah. But also, how do you decide whether to do it or not? But also, how do you decide what's good or bad?
Yeah. Okay, so is that the question you're asking?
Yeah, it might be another question for another day.
Well, I'll give a super quick answer.
All right, go on then.
So, for me, when I'm looking at a business, people always are trying to create this really amazing concept that's never been done before.
Yes, revolutionary.
It's gonna change the world, make it a better place. But I love a business that already has an existing market and already has an existing customer base. So if you're trying to enter a crowded space, that's not always a bad thing, because you know what, if I can get 1% of that marketplace, then I'm okay. And I always do a quick check on Google, and I always check search volumes, as just my very quick entry level inquiry, because I know that if there are inquiries on Google, I can have the appropriate marketing measures to make sure that people are looking for my product or service, and I'm happy. Requires no people, requires a website and some marketing spend, and I've got inquiries overnight. Bang. I'm happy. What more can you ask for?
Sure.
So for me, that's one of the factors that I love, is entering a market that already has an existing customer base that helps me make a decision sometimes. Then you add your spice to it. So then you add, all these things that make you a bit different from the rest of the market, whether it be, a better product or better customer service, or you can do a quicker turnaround time, your USP, fine. But if there's already an existing customer base, you're on to a winner to start with.
Yeah. Okay. Good shot. Well done.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll get some more questions in from you guys.
Any more questions? Please let us know.
You can send it via the comments below, or Selfmade Book UK Instagram and Twitter and so on.
Facebook.
Any way you like, really. As long as it's going to us, we'll find it and we'll answer it.
Absolutely.
Thanks very much. Bye.
Thank you.